Hey guys, so welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to kind of go over some of my mounts that I've already got hanging up, give you a quick little story behind each one of those. Just thought it'd be kind of neat to show everybody kind of what we have already accomplished. I know the other guys are going to be doing similar videos as well, so we'll get all these posted up on onto the page so you guys can watch and enjoy. Alright, so here on this part of the wall, right here is my Angora goat. I got this with a bow 2 years ago. I got it at Black Mountain Hunts in Okemah, Oklahoma. I actually filmed most of that hunt. If you'd like to see that film, it's on my original Facebook page, Cane Creek Deer Ranch. It was a fun hunt. Goat tasted amazing. We absolutely loved it. But really cool looking animal. Right next to it over here, you got my pheasant. I shot this back when I was in high school. Went on a hunt with some friends up in Kansas, and we went pheasant hunting and shot quite a few pheasant. Over here you can see a ram, and I'll get around to that as well. And if you can see in the background over here, we've already got our Halloween decorations up because kids absolutely love that kind of stuff. So this is my 2020 buck. He's a 12 point. He's 6x6. He was hanging out with a 14 point that my dad got that's a little over 150 inches. I'll put a picture of him up in a minute. But I got this guy on, I think it was the second day of season. And I was actually, when I was on the way to go hunt, I was on the phone with one of my friends and told him, said, hey, let me get off the phone with you. I'm about to go shoot a drop time buck. And he just kind of laughed at me and said, yeah, okay, if you actually shoot him, let me know. I had this buck really well patterned right there those first few days of season. Got up in the stand. He came in at the exact time that I knew he was going to be there. Put an arrow in him at 12 yards. He ran about 56 yards and fell over. It was a perfect double lung heart shot, so couldn't ask for more. Beautiful buck. He's really unique. He's got this, you know, second main beam and drop tine. Just absolutely gorgeous. Fairly heavy buck for around here. So this is the only fish mount that I currently have in the house. It's a largemouth bass. I was actually perch fishing when I caught him. Had a little bitty rod, light tackle. He's a little over 6 pounds. I was fishing with a bobber and worms, just trying to catch some perch. And I believe I was a freshman in high school when I caught this one. But what happened was, perch weren't really biting. It was starting to get hot, and I said, alright, I'm going to go home. Started reeling in. He grabbed a hold of the bobber and wrapped himself up in the line, and, you know, I was like a 14-year-old kid. I was absolutely going crazy about how big he was, and that I caught him that way. So had to get him mounted. We caught him in a farm pond, so gorgeous little Oklahoma bass. This is my Wyoming antelope. Shot him in the middle of a blizzard. When we went up to Wyoming, it was 97 degrees. The day before season, we actually went and trout fished a little bit back up in the mountains and caught some cutthroat and some brook trout and ate them for dinner. The next morning we woke up, there was a foot of snow on the ground, blowing like crazy. It was opening day. Went and I shot at him early in the morning and missed. Went back out later in the day. In the middle of the blizzard. I was wearing Crocs because my boots were soaking wet inside, but I still wanted to hunt, so I put on some heavy wool socks, had on Crocs, was hunting, and shot this guy at 80 yards on the side of a hill face. When we had him measured, he was 2 inches away from being Boone and Crockett. Absolutely loved that hunt. Hoping I can go out to western Oklahoma and maybe get one with a bow in the next couple of years. Alright, so this is the first exotic I ever got to hunt. This was, I think I was like 12 years old when I got to hunt this guy. It's a painted desert ram. I shot him with a muzzleloader back when I was little. Kind of the story by him was, Mom and Dad made a deal that if I made straight A's in one semester, he'd take me on this ram hunt. So worked my butt off, got straight A's, and this is kind of the result of that. Alright, so this is a Corsican ram, so kind of the story behind him. We had booked a trip to go deep sea fishing for yellowfin tuna and black tuna during my spring break in college one year. The guide had called us and said that we couldn't go because there was 12-foot seas with 14-15 foot crest, and he didn't want to take his boat out and try that, and we didn't want to go out in that. So we got our money back from that, and I called a hunting ranch here that's about an hour away from the house and said, hey, do you have anything that's that would look good on a wall? I want to come hunt tomorrow. And the guy said, yeah. He said, I can actually get you in tomorrow. He said, I've got a real big, pretty Corsican. So we went and shot this. I shot this guy. He was about a 120-yard shot, and this was when I was back in college. And then my dad went on the same trip, and he ended up shooting a fairly large red deer hind. But that was a great trip that we got to go on. Alright, so this is my first wall hanger buck that I ever shot. I shot this guy in high school, my senior year. I got to my stand and realized I didn't have my safety harness, and I'd left my safety harness at home, so I ran all the way back to the truck, drove all the way back home, got the safety harness, got back, got in the stand, was in the stand for 15 minutes, heard something crash, looked down there, here comes two does, this guy following both of them. He came to, I think it's about 40 yards from the stand, and I put him straight down. He didn't move an inch after that, and that was a really cool year to get my first wall hanger my senior year in high school. Okay, and this is my red stag. So when I first graduated college, I was working for a pipeline company and making decent money, so decided we were going to go down to Texas. It was a freaking awesome trip. I went down there for red stag. This ended up getting this guy. I ended up shooting a black Hawaiian as well. My dad shot a black Hawaiian. My brother shot a hog. My cousin went with us. He shot a 7x2 elk. His friend went with us and shot a 5x5 elk. And then they also shot 2 or 3 rams, 2 or 3 goats. I think in total we ended up getting, I don't know, I think it's about 16 different animals that the group of us shot while we was down there. It was an absolute blast. Alright, so this one, he's got stickers on both sides. Story behind this guy, I had seen him on camera where I had my camera set up. He was always showing up 20-30 minutes after shooting hours. So the stand I wanted to hunt, where I knew he was coming through, but it was always late like that, I didn't want to, I made the decision not to hunt there. One morning, I went to a different stand in the morning where there's always a bunch of acorns. Within the first 5 minutes of shooting light, I saw him coming through, shot him, put him straight down. Absolutely thrilled that I got him, because he was one of the biggest bucks I'd got at the time. Had those beautiful flyers. An absolute beautiful buck. I mean, you can see he's if he'd had more mass, he probably would have scored, you know, in the 130s, 140s maybe. But as he stands, because he doesn't have the mass, he does have decent tine length. I mean, he's got that one G2, I think that was a 12 inches, and the other one's like 11 and a half. But he only ended up scoring out at about 110, maybe 115. I can't remember 100%. So not an absolute monster. Wasn't a Boone and Crockett or nothing. But I mean, he's absolutely beautiful deer. So I work from home, and what you're seeing here is like right above my desk that I work at. This is 2 wood ducks. In high school, I did a lot of duck hunting. I had a friend that was absolutely obsessed with duck hunting, so we'd go deer hunting, and then as soon as duck season started, we were always duck hunting. We were jumping down on the creek a couple of times, and we've killed several wood ducks down there. Killed lots of mallards, gadwalls, shovels, spoonbill, shovelers, whatever you call them. One pintail. We should have got the pintail mounted, but didn't. But I always like this mount, really cool. These 2 wood ducks on this log like this. Alright, so I'm going to show you the mount that's not here yet. So this is a pedestal that I had made. Up in here, we're going to put some scenery. But then what's going to mount onto this is my eland. So I'll throw a picture up right now of the eland. I shot that last year with my bow. My first stalk on the eland was at 40 yards. I didn't feel comfortable making a 40-yard shot on an animal that size with a bow. So I tried to sneak up to this tree where it was going to give me a 20-yard shot. Wasn't having it, took off running. So put a second stalk on it, got within 26 yards. It was facing me, shot it in the chest. It severed the heart. Eland did the heart death kick that we all love seeing with the whitetail. It jumped, I'm going to say probably 7-8 feet in the air. I mean, it was absolutely, I didn't realize they could jump that high, as big an animal as they are. Took off running, I mean, just probably 30-40 mile an hour. Just couldn't understand how fast this animal was moving for the size of it. And I was afraid I'd screwed the shot up. One of the guides that was with us, there was two of the guides with me, came running up, said, it fell down, it's dead, you got it. So we went and took pictures, which you're looking at right now. Some of the pictures, went and got my son to take pictures with us before we brought it back. He was still asleep at the lodge when I woke him up. But that was an awesome hunt, and we're going back to that place. That's where I shot the ram, or the Angora goat, Black Mountain hunts. But we'll be going back there, and can't wait to hunt that place again. We're going there in October for Dad's fallow deer. I'm going back in March for more ram hunts. It's absolutely beautiful place, and the people that own it are absolutely amazing. Alright guys, so those are my mounts. That's what I have at the house. Obviously I have a bunch more whitetail that I've shot. I've got tons and tons of antlers out in my barn that honestly I just haven't had the time to get them all cleaned up, put on plaques, and hang the skulls and the antlers up. I've got an 8-point hanging out in a tree right now that I let the bugs clean all the meat off of. My wife's first buck is in the pantry, actually. I hadn't had a chance to put it on a plaque, and I've got several out there. My dad shot a bunch of big ones. My brother shot a 23 point a couple of years ago. He didn't want to mount it, just did a skull mount, and whatever makes you happy, right? But glad I could show you that with you. I know the other guys are doing the same type of filming right now. We're gonna have tons of videos coming to you guys. You know, stay tuned. We're gonna bring them to you every Sunday. I've got one scheduled for the upcoming Sunday. I'm gonna get this one edited, get it scheduled for a Sunday. So I'm gonna have videos scheduled out several weeks in advance. If we get a big enough backlog, we will try to put them out more often. But right now, our goal, because we do not know how much footage we're going to be able to get in October, because I told the guys we want to get footage, we want to show you guys our hunts, but number one thing is if a buck comes up that is a shooter and you don't feel like you can get it on film, don't worry about it. We can always get the recovery on film, and it's more important because most of us don't go to the grocery store for meat. We go hunting in the fall, we fill the freezer, and that's what we eat all year. My freezer getting kind of low. Luckily, this last year I did shoot that eland that put a little over 1,000 pounds of meat in my freezer, so I'm good there. I know we've got the fallow deer hunt coming up. We've got 2 ram hunts. My wife and myself are both going to hunt rams in March, so we'll have some meat coming, assuming we do good on those hunts. Whitetail season's October 1st. My wife's got a buck picked out that we saw middle of the summer. We're hoping he stays around, he shows up on the camera where she's wanting to hunt. And I've had a couple others kind of trickle through, nothing to get excited about yet, so I'm not sure what's going to happen for me whitetail wise yet. I may end up having to go to public for the first time if I'm not getting anything on camera. I don't know, we'll see. But you know, stay tuned. The other guys are getting big bucks on camera. We'll hopefully be getting a lot of footage for you. So thanks guys, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and make sure you click that icon so you're getting the alerts. Thanks for watching.